right, let's talk about breeding season a little bit. So some of the key topics that I have right here with talking with viewers and customers. I'm going to break this down a little bit, and remember, this is my gospel, my approach, but I'm really confident to preach this with my success rate, where breeding season rewards restraint more than skill. So your restraint, and something I preach this constantly, hypocritical is the game call builder. Sometimes silence can be your best killer, where you vocalized, you announced your location, you became a destination point. At that point, just shut up. Give it a little bit of time, give it a waiting game. You announced your presence, who's going to answer, what's going to answer, if there is a vocalization. And quite often those coyotes can come in silent, cheating towards the downwind. So quite often, don't think I need to make sound to kill coyotes. You announced your presence, you became a destination point. Silence at that point can be your best killer, especially during your breeding season. You just have to have the patience. So right here, the next thing, the first thing I want to stop new hunters from doing is answering every sound. When you vocalize and you became that destination point, as soon as you hear that audible response come back, don't necessarily think I have to respond to it. They know where you are, you know where they are, you both have a destination point now. Wait for them, which way is the wind blowing, repeating this again. A lot of the things that I repeat and I get really repetitive with is because they are that important to our success. That's my gospel, and that's why I preach it. So don't think for a minute. You vocalize, little time passes by, you get an answer, you got to jump right back on that call and respond back to them. They know where you are. Let the dynamic of coyote behavior operate to your favor without becoming a constant destination point. They know whereabouts you are. Don't pinpoint that location. Make them come look with this, and be prepared for that downwind side shot, especially when it's breeding season and you have mating pairs or multiple coyotes coming in. So the second thing, perfect, right behind this, the second thing I want to teach that person is wait. Patience will prevail in the end. You vocalize, you communicate, you get that response. The one thing in between is, if you can cut distance to the sound, cut distance to the sound, but put yourself in the best proximity and the best point of view where you can actually see that habitat where you think the animal is going to be coming from. Especially keep an eye on the downwind side from where your stand originally made that sound. If you do move to where that animal is going to be traveling from point A of where they responded to point B of where they're going to be able to smell where they hear the sound come from. And I love this right here. Confidence sounds calm. Calm, cool, collective, practice, proficiency. I've watched dudes on stand before where they hear that audible response, and then all of a sudden it's just frantic, head down, off of the monocular, off of a scope, daytime, nighttime, and they go right down to that remote and they start scrolling like, I gotta find, shut up, just wait, calm, you got all the time in the world. They're not even close to your effective range, they're off in the distance. De-escalate, take a breath. This can be really hard for especially new coyote hunters that are in the field that, oh my God, I got a response. I see a coyote. I want to shoot the coyote. Take a breath. Have some trigger discipline and just de-escalate and slow down a little bit. Have some confidence and sound calm. Especially when you're using a hand call, you got all the time in the world. I don't have to scroll through my remote muscle memory of how I'm positioning my lanyard. My howler on this side, my distress call is down here, another distress call over here. I have another open reed howler in my pocket. I know where everything is on my lanyard or in my pocket. I know where to grab, I know where to call. I don't have to put my head down and come off of anything to actually scroll through a remote. I can do this fluidly and nice and calmly. So, if you can't control yourself, you can't control your stand. And this really just sums up this whole entire category of communicating during the breeding season. De-escalate, calm down, listen to the animal, listen to the agitation, aggravation, or invitation in the voice of the coyote. If there's a rollover with the howl, being friendly and inviting, or agitated or aggravated, if that howl just reaches its apex and just shuts right off, you pissed in their Cheerios a little bit, they're a little grumpy, that's where I like to give that agitation right back. Initially, I want to sound as inviting as possible. If I get that audible response where they're pretty grumpy, I want to give that right back to them. I don't want to start with that, but if I get it, I give it right back. So control yourself and you can control the stand. And just remember, wind is not a direction, it's a system. Learn that system and you're going to win in the end.